call this Waycross Ware County Landbank Authority meeting to order. First, we have an invocation. Students, you can listen to the invocation also to pledge allegiance. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, thank you for today, and thank you for your mercy and grace to all of us. Lord, be with us now as we come to this meeting, that we may remember you are Lord of all, and Lord, that our discussions today may be pleasing unto you and follow your will. Lord, I pray for safety for everyone here today. I pray for safety for the citizens of this city and county. And Lord, I pray especially for those families, friends, colleagues who have recently lost loved ones that work for city and county. Lord, I just lift up these families to you. May you give peace and comfort to these families in their time of mourning. Lord, we are in the Easter season, and Lord, help us that our hearts may be full of your love. We are thankful for the sacrifice of your Son, Jesus Christ. Lord, I pray Easter blessings upon all. Be with us now as we commence the business of this authority. Be with us as we vote and decide. In your name I pray, amen.
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 I allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It is for that prayer. At this time, we'll please review your minutes and so we can approve them.
I have several questions
Okay.
or notes. Shall I go ahead? Is it red now?
This was on green earlier, but now it's on.
What's on green again?
It's on here again.
Okay.
Mine is as well.
On green or?
Red.
I turned it off a couple of times, off and on a couple of times, but now it's on red again.
And mine is too.
Mine's on red.
It's on red.
Mine's on green.
You know, while we're waiting, if you all go in and review those minutes.
So I do. I have
Okay, wait,
4 or
let's-
5.
Let's get a motion to approve the minutes and a second we're going to discussion. We have to read what we can.
Okay, yeah, because I have several questions.
Do I get a motion to approve these minutes?
Motion to approve.
I have a second.
Second.
Okay, now discussion.
Now we have discussion.
And let us know which page you're on.
Okay. So on page 10,
Page 10. That one's working? I'm gonna, you'll be able to switch it out. I'll leave this in here as well, this is the same.
I think it's not, I got the wrong thing.
Okay, while he's doing that, you said page 10?
Yes. Yeah, at the very bottom of the page, under Marion Solomon Gaines.
Working.
So it says the meeting at 2 PM for the work session, followed by 3 PM for the meeting. And so I thought that was supposed to be 2:30, the work session at 2 and the meeting at 2:30 or following after the work session. I don't think we mentioned 3, but maybe you
That was
did.
in the first discussion, but it was changed, if you keep reading, it was changed to
Because the other places
If a
say
meeting was-
2:30.
if a meeting was required, then the work session would start at 2, with the regular meeting to follow immediately thereafter.
Okay. Okay, I think that's on page 12,
Okay.
so, where he just read that,
Yeah, I
under
see
his
that.
comments up at the top.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, on
You okay with
page
that?
23,
You okay with that?
yeah, because that was correct, page 23. Last paragraph, comments of Mr. Nash. About the fourth line down. Says we're based out of Macon, Georgia, and we're an affiliate of Making Housing. I think that word should be Macon.
Macon Housing.
See, Macon, I think it should be changed to Macon.
Okay.
And page 28. So I have a question. First line, it says, so we use LATECH funds to do it. I wonder, is that correct? I think it was called something else in the application that we had. I'm asking, is that spelled correctly?
Okay, on
And
on
what
page
does that stand
27,
for?
On page 27, Mr. Nash said they'll be using LA capital X. Are we
Oh,
using-
yeah,
Okay, so
and that one too. What, I wonder, what is the correct term? And
Slatec,
LA capital T.
it'll be
TC.
LIHTC,
Okay,
Yeah.
LIHTC.
right.
Okay, so that's on page 27, it needs to be corrected.
Okay.
L-I. Say that
yeah,
again.
that's LIHTC.
And so that should be the same thing on page 28. is
Yeah,
that
at the
right?
top of page 28
Okay.
should be corrected. And what does that stand for?
That's the low income housing tax credit.
Okay. Okay, let's see, another on page, okay, one more that I have, bottom of page 28. Mr. Grayson Grove Smith, under his comment, okay, it's 52 units, 8 one-bedroom, 24 two-bedroom, and then the last thing, 23 bedroom, I think that should be 23 bedrooms.
That's what it says.
It says,
Mine doesn't, it says 23 bedroom.
Okay, so what should it say?
It should say 20
Oh,
bedrooms.
20 instead of 23.
So if you have 8 one-bedrooms, 24 two, that's 32. So you have 20 left out of the 52 units. So it should not be 23. It should be 23 bedrooms.
Again, these minutes are taken directly from what was said in the meeting. Word for word, it's transcribed from the recording to these notes. So,
But
23
that is
is
an
what-
error.
but that
So
was
that's
what
why-
was said, so we have to go with what was said. I understand it may not be, the math might not be correct, but that was what was said in the meeting, so that's what we have to record as the minutes.
I will go back and confirm with the
We-
audio that we do transcribe for, to verify if it should reflect as 2, 20, or 3 bedrooms or whatever.
Well, that's
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that's what it says elsewhere in the application.
Right, I understand that, yes ma'am, but I'll
But-
confirm that what was audio, what was that verbally
know,
actually said, yes
But
ma'am.
sometimes it just doesn't pick it up correctly.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the table. We also have a request for clarification. Would you make another motion, or someone make another motion to include the corrections we made?
Madam Chair, Deborah Giddens, I make a motion, or I move, so I should say, I move that the minutes be accepted with the inclusion of all the corrections that were discussed.
Need a second?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Now we're going for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, treasurer's report.
Current balance in the bank, Waycross Bank and Trust is $41,850.18. That's what it was last time. And I'm going to repeat it though, $41,850.18.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, the treasurer report. I guess we do need to vote on that?
No, ma'am.
No, okay, we just accepting that as.
Correct.
It is what it is. Okay. Continuing business, application for Bailey Street property.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Mr. Hawkins?
at the last meeting last month, there was an application for the Bailey Street property presented to the board, and this came from Mr. Nash of Infill Properties. The board heard the application, looked over it, and we're back here to vote to approve the application or to deny it.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So will we be starting over with this where we will have to talk about changing the zoning for District 1?
So it would be, that's part of the application, is he's asking this board to petition to rezone it. So it would go to the planning commission and then come to the city commission. So the last one that was petitioned was College Street. So this one has not had a petition to rezone it in several years. So
But that was because the project that they were going to work on was going to be for single-family housing, right?
the previous project on which project?
Bailey. We're talking
The
about
previous
Bailey.
project, so this is on single family. The
Right.
previous project that was gonna be there was, single family housing.
Right. So there was
The
no need
College
to
Street-
discuss rezoning.
Right. The College Street property, which is completely separate, it's not within the Landbank's purview. That was to be, is RS single family as well, and that development, was requesting that the city, because the city owns that site, to rezone it from RS to R45 to make the yards a little smaller so that he could put in single family,
Right. And
and that was denied.
because the zoning had to be changed, right?
I would
To
assume
make that happen.
that was the city commission that made that choice, and I'm not sure if they gave a, because the proposed project was single family housing.
Right, but it also stipulated in that it could have that multi-family housing as well if the rezoning was changed.
Yeah, I mean, if it was rezoned, they could have allowed multifamily.
Right, and that's why it
Right.
was denied, because they wanted it to stay single-family housing.
Right. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what the reasoning was or if they gave one. I don't know if you were here for that meeting.
They didn't give one.
They didn't give a reason for
Okay.
denying it, so I'm
Okay,
not sure why it was actually denied.
okay. Oh, all right. Another question. On here,
Which page are you on?
I'm on page 27.
And Mr. Nash is here as well, if you'll have questions. that
Okay.
Some of these might be for him.
27 is the application.
No, I'm like some old, just in some conversation that was had about this on page 27 of the minutes.
Okay.
Because Mr. Lucas said that, was saying that we needed to change this because of industrial park and businesses would be coming in and we needed housing, having homes, and influx of people as well. But my thing is, who are we talking about? What people? Because if they bring industry in, they're going to bring their own people first, correct? Well, if they bring their own people first, they're not coming to any multi-family housing. They're not going to even come in District 1 first. So, coming back over there talking about changing the zoning again, we've been having this discussion ever since Mayor Knox was the mayor and Mr. Maddox was the city manager. They came over there with the same proposals of this. How many times do we have to explain that we don't have a problem with housing in District 1? It's just what you're trying to put back over there. We experienced Bailey Street housing over in that area many years ago. I don't know what they proposed back then because I was a girl, but I don't know what they proposed to get it built. And at that particular time, it was for single families or whatever families, and people that were working lived there. And as they upgraded, they moved from Baylor Heights and were able to get single family housing in that area. Okay, as time passed, a different element moved into Bailey Street. The name changed from Bailey Street to Fort Bailey. And we all know why it changed to Fort Bailey. Eventually, it was torn down and everyone was happy. Okay, these projects that they're talking about doing is going, they're saying a 30-year project. All we're doing now is going back in a cycle. If we let this multi-purpose stuff come over there, a multi-family come over there, in 30 years, we'll have another Fort Bailey, but it'll have a new name. So if they want to come in that District 1, come with single families so people can live in an individual area, not all clumped up on each other where they're crowded, get frustrated, and all type of things start happening. So all I'm saying, because I've been over there all my life, if people want to build over there, build in a way that people can be respected and it can be as it was before they disenfranchised the people that lived over there. Because it was single family housing. I remember it. Commissioner Davis' grandparents lived over there in single family. So why are we trying to change that when the community continues to say, no, build the neighborhood up like family, not clumping together so they can get frustrated. That, you know.
And that may be the reason why the commission denied it, because that neighborhood just does not want family housing back over there.
No, we've experienced that, so why reinvent the bad wheel?
Right.
We've already seen what it'll do.
I just bring the applications.
I
Come in.
know, I know, but I'm just getting it
I'm
out
just
there.
a messenger.
I know.
I can say I know what Bailey Street used to be.
Yes.
I do know that housing has changed. I know that was Section 8. And with Section 8, it is a different clientele. This would not be Section 8 housing.
For now.
It may not start out
As
as
we
Section 8
we
housing.
discussed, we could put in the covenants, in the restrictive covenants, if you chose, you could put the stipulation in there that cannot be used for Section 8 housing or the, I forgot the legal term, subsidized housing, that you can put that in the restrictive covenants. I can tell also from all the classes that I've gone to, and I'm just giving the history, I don't have a vote one way or the other, and it's y'all's vote and that district's vote, but this type housing is what's becoming the thing throughout the state and throughout the country. People are downsizing, older people are downsizing, so they don't have maintenance to take care of. Younger people can't afford single family housing, so they move to a project like this until they can afford to move to single family. And so it's a stepping stone for those first time young people starting out. And then it's also something for the older people to downsize to, or those that just don't want to own, they just want to rent. So that's where it's going in the industry right now. So I'll just leave it at that. And again, it's called the low income housing tax credit. But again, I think part of it too, and part of it's the education of it, part two, because when I first heard low income housing, my first thought was Section 8 and low income. That's not the standard. Low income housing is basically workforce housing. So based on our demographics in Waycross and Ware County, a large majority of our demographic, city and county, would qualify to live in this property because it's based on your income, and because of the way our income is in this area, unfortunately, majority of our people would fit into the workforce housing classification.
I get that, but why does it have to look like the projects?
And I can say, I know Mr. Nash is here, so in the packet that y'all received last time and this time, there was a drawing in there. Mr. Nash has come back with some different drawings, and if y'all want to hear from him and see what he's got, he's hearing from the commission, or from this board, the wishes of the neighborhood, so they have made some changes, and if y'all want to hear from him and see what he's got, if he's got anything,
Yes.
a rendering.
Of course.
Yes.
So Mr. Nash, you can come here.
Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
could we get him up here now to
Yes. explain
the difference of, I think the nuances is, it's, people are saying projects, but it's affordable housing. That's what's putting a cog in the wheel. So, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
if you would.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
So thank you all for having me again, and thank you for sharing your history and thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your history and reiterating your priorities, and I hear you loud and clear. To answer your question, the low-income housing tax credit was initially invented to provide more affordable housing throughout the U.S., and unfortunately, a large chunk of that housing got a bad rep with poor management and using limited government funds to get the housing built. And with the poor management, it led to lower quality housing and unfortunate scenarios with that. Nowadays, we've been fortunate enough to get a lot more approval for funding and having market rate developers come in and add more quality housing. So it's drastically changing shape, if you will. And just a reminder, I don't know if you guys recall, but my name is Nash, and I'm with Infill Housing, based out of Macon, Georgia. We've seen a lot of progress throughout Macon, and we've extended that service throughout the rest of Georgia, and have had some success. Our primary mission is just to build safe, quality housing throughout Georgia where it's needed most. And in my recent conversation with some of your Waycross leaders, it's been brought to my attention that you guys have a few sites that are underutilized and that have been landmarks within the community, and you want to see that brought back to life. Bailey Street was the one that came to my attention recently, and during our initial discussion, your priorities were heard loud and clear on what you want to see there for the single family. So we're not here to build a bunch of apartment complexes or apartments that you guys don't want there. That isn't our goal. Our goal is to add value. And so pushing that conversation forward, if you guys do want to see something done with Bailey Street, we've been working with our team and architects to build a vision that you want to see come to fruition. I brought one today, and this is a collaborative relationship. So whatever you guys tell us you want done, that's what we will bring forward. Whatever you do not want there, we won't bring forward. So we're allowing you to put your hands on the wheel and steer it, and then we'll work with you along the process to bring what you want to see. And given, most of our experience has been mostly apartment complexes, if you will. We've also done different scenarios from duplexes, townhomes were the vision we were thinking of, because it gives you that independence for the resident living there where they can have their own property, and we're still putting, using the land property to build enough housing for people to live there with new industry coming in or the current residents that you currently have. So for a preliminary markup, we were thinking like a 3-pod scenario, and we've sent this to Mr. Rayford and Mr. Hawkins to get some feedback on if the citizens or the community will like this. If you say Nash, that isn't what we're looking for, sounds great. We'll go back and we'll bring something more ideal for what you want to see there. Maybe you say Nash, that looks good. Let's space it out a bit more so it looks more independent, or maybe you say let's break that up into 2-pod townhomes where it's not like 3 and together. We've kind of mocked up maybe what single family would look like on that, but it's just hard to build enough there per the land that we have available. So this is all preliminary. We're allowing you guys to drive the wheel. We just want to bring something that you want to see, you know. So this was just kind of an initial pre-work, and based on your feedback and what you all think, we will go that direction.
So, how many units or houses, or however way you're gonna call it, do you plan on putting on that property?
Yes, ma'am. So we were thinking these are townhomes kind of plotted together, if you will. We were thinking initially 52. Maybe you say you like to see a bit more, maybe Nash rework a design, or you want to see less, but this was our initial concept.
Chair, I have a question. So if you do that method, the 3-pod, so how many of those would fit on the land?
Right now, we're kind of doing a lot of civil work with our architects to kind of see what that would look like and kind of format a design that's suitable for the Bailey Street parcel, and we will get your approval, of course, and we will kind of revamp it based on what you all think. But we're thinking 52 of these. So if this is a 3-pod scenario where we have 3 units, then we would do blocks of those kind of throughout. And we're happy, like our architect has done different schematics or designs of maybe what a 4-pod would look like. Maybe you guys say, we just want maybe a 2 version of this. I'm happy to forward those to Mr. Hawkins or the point person that you guys would like to see it. You have a question?
May I ask a question? Would this area have one entrance or multiple entrances?
That's a great question. Right now, I think we're thinking 2 based on how the land is kind of shaped.
Okay.
But again, open-minded.
Yeah,
2 is our.
I was thinking like more like a cul-de-sac.
Okay. Understood. Okay. Go for that. Okay.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
And this may be a Mark question. The zoning, the rezoning rather, is to put more, less yard space and kind of squeeze in more of those? I mean, what?
So right now the property is zoned RS single family.
Right.
So we would have to look at their site plan to go to, so we've got R50, R75, R90, so it depends. Again, like Mr. Nash is saying, what y'all agree on or what y'all are comfortable with, what the neighborhood's comfortable with, would depend on which one of those we would need to rezone it to.
I thought you said something earlier about
So
the size of
the other
lots.
project on, I keep saying project, it's the development. The other project that was presented to the city commission was going to R45 because if it stayed RS single family, they could only put about 18 to 20 houses. What he was proposing was about 40 to 42 houses. So it was going to an R45 to make the yard smaller so that he could put them the 40 or 42 houses, whatever it was.
Are we saying houses or
So
complexes?
the other project was single family. This development would be multifamily. So with multifamily, and it would be just like this, the development that's going over behind Ware Manor. That is R90 that's zoned over there. So it restricts the number of buildings based on the size of the lot, because you've got to have so much land per unit. When I say per unit, so this would be 3 units. So I think the R50 requires 2,500 square foot per unit. The R75 might require 3,000, R90, so it depends on what that is. So again, based on the number that you guys agree on, and you know, if the district agrees to it, you know, that's something we would have to see which one we need to go to.
And it's exactly like Mr. Hawkins said. And just to add further insight, you know, the big reason for the zoning is we have to hit maybe a threshold or a certain amount of units with the land that we have. And the reason for that is because our tax dollars go to housing, and the government wants to see that money spent to its best use and allocated properly. So if we can only do maybe 20 single family homes, which we'd be happy to do with a lot of land per house, then we're not going to be approved for that contribution for the project. So we have to maybe get it to we have to get it to a certain threshold in which the government say, okay, this is the best use for the chunk of dollars that we would contribute. But we're still trying to do that in limbo with individual housing. So maybe that's townhouses, 3-pod, 2-pod. Maybe you say, Nash, we want to see these more individualized. You're steering the wheel, you know. But that's the reason for the zoning, if that provides any more insight.
So 52 is the magic number here?
We're thinking around that, give or take. But again, I would defer to you.
With the one you're showing us.
Yes, ma'am.
That would be 52 on the land. 52
Yes.
units like that.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Exactly how many people would that be?
So we have approximately 8 one-bedrooms, I think 28 two-bedrooms and 24 three-bedrooms. Initially, we had a higher unit of 3 bedrooms in our design, but per some research on what Waycross may need, we've seen a lot more 2 bedrooms being needed, so we just kind of decreased the 3 bedrooms and increased the 2 bedrooms because we thought maybe that was appropriate, unless you all tell me otherwise. But so the unit count is based on that, if that makes sense.
Mark. Who are we trying to house here? Because I don't want to seem like I don't understand. I do understand we need housing, but and I understand affordable housing. I understand workforce housing. But exactly who are we trying to house on the real side? Because see, I keep hearing government. Government is about government. Government is not really about the people. So if we're talking about government funds and housing, the people in the end not going to get the best deal. Sorry, I feel that way, but government has proven that through the years. So all this government, 52 units, 30 years down the road, what do we have over there in that area? What do we have? Because the government's going to still be floating around. But these 52 units, and I don't know how many people living up in there, we going to have to deal with that in this community.
Yes, ma'am. And that's a valuable and valid concern.
But nobody's saying, who are we trying to house?
Well, I guess maybe want to ask, what would the qualifications be for the people who would be buying? Will they be buying these units or renting?
Renting.
They would be renting, yes.
What would their qualifications be for the people who would be potential tenants for your company? And also, are they going to be, I'm not real familiar with all of it. I understand sometimes you have a situation where the government pays part of the rent. I guess that's what Ms. Dixon's talking about, such that, would that be part of it, or do you just, they got to be a standalone individual paying his own way?
I better understand. So no, the government isn't, and I apologize for using that term, the government is not involved. We're leading this project. to the extent the government is involved, is approving the tax credits. For the next 25 to 30 years, this is managed by us. So the government is only involved to the extent of approving the tax credits. That's it. As far as qualifications, general qualifications, employed. This is intended for workforce housing and to be affordable for the community. So just employment, making maybe a certain, falling into a certain parameters financially. I think these are designated for 50%, 60%, and 70% AMI, which means the average median income based on your area, so that people can afford to live here. And then that's about it. It looks a bit more into their personal background as well, just for safety. But even given someone's specific situation, there are still accommodations. So hopefully that sheds a bit more light.
Tax Commissioner, you had something to say?
Yeah,
I need you to get to the mic.
Yeah. We're picking it up.
Y'all want me to come up here and speak?
And you had your hand raised. I mean, I know it's unusual.
Yeah, it's unusual, it's unusual.
To the audience, but yes, sir.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Well,
Yeah.
Great. Ms. Dixon, you was asking about who we're going to build these houses for, who's going to come in. I can tell you that there's the Simmons building just recently sold. That company is bringing 200 people in here to work. There's some more companies that's in the works, and they're bringing a lot of people. The Census Bureau expects Waycross, Ware County to be over 50,000 people by 2030. And the last census they only had is at 36. And we got more than 40, I can tell you, we got more than 40,000 right now. And we need housing. But that's who you're going to have,
So,
who we're building the houses for.
so you're saying that you're building the houses for these companies that are coming in, and when they come in, the people that they're bringing are going to actually live in those apartments?
Well, they're actually going to bring in only a handful of people. They're going to hire people.
Right. But
They're going to bring people from out of the state, out of town, out of the counties. Is going to move to Ware County.
Right. So you're saying that the people that they're going to hire are going to live over there in District 1?
Why not? What's wrong with District 1?
Nothing.
I have a house over in District 1. What's wrong with District 1?
Nothing.
So there's no issue with that. I mean, I don't see an issue with that. I understand your concern about the Bailey Heights, the way it took a turn for that, but that was public housing, and this is something totally different.
And Mr. Nash, you said that his company would be monitoring this up to 30 years. So what happens after 30 years? And I think that's what this.
Yeah. Well, after 30 years, I'm sure that whoever comes up with enough money is going to end up buying it, and they'll sell it. But
Let me ask this question. And I guess this is Mr. Hoffman's question. Are we expected to make a decision on this today? This board?
I mean, you can table it. It sounds like Mr. Nash is, I mean,
that's the reason I'm asking.
so the LIHTC application is due in April?
End of May.
End of May, excuse me. So if not today, then I would highly encourage by next month at least, to make a decision.
And I guess my concern is.
Because the LIHTC is a very competitive process. It's also very time consuming with everything that, because they have to, do the drawings and everything. So it's a very intense application process to get ahead. So
Yeah, we'd only have a month. It's May 7th or May 8th they're due.
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's May 7th or May 8th they're due, so we'd only have a month to move plans and the submittals forward if this is something you guys would like to see come to fruition.
Well,
Vice Chair.
I think that the, community
Mhm.
needs the opportunity to see all of this. and
Under-
hear what the plans are.
Agreed.
Madam Vice
Vice
Chair,
Chair.
that's our question.
I'm sorry?
That's our question. Have they
Yeah.
had the town halls, or when are the town halls that
They-
have the
they
people in
did
the
not.
community?
They've had a town hall, but not for District One because of Commissioner, Roberts.
Okay, so, so I'm thinking the same thing. We really need to have, ASAP, maybe with Commissioner Roberts and,
And I invited him to come today, but I think he had therapy or something.
Can't the land bank
I'm sorry?
have called a meeting? Can't the land bank say they want to have a meeting in District One to discuss the potential use of properties in District One? You don't need
Mr.
the
Nash,
city
if we
commission
schedule that meeting
involved
with the
in that.
district, is it possible for you to come back?
Yes, ASAP preferably. I was under the impression those had already taken place leading up to the 25th, and I was intending to come, but I'm not sure of any progress on that front.
Okay, you get with him, and see if we can schedule that. In the meantime, who's responsible to, because your deadline is when?
Beginning of May, we would have to have this prepared before May
So we
1st.
need to schedule with the resident, and then, that's gonna be a call meeting.
Vice Chair, may I ask him another
Okay,
question?
yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Nash.
Yes, sir.
correct? Would you deeply clarify to that district what affordable housing is?
Yes, sir.
I still see that there's a hiccup in the wording. They're not understanding what affordable housing is. And that may be causing the fear that I keep sensing that's here. So if you would drive that home,
Yes, sir.
and hopefully we'll see what happens from there. Okay?
Understood. Will do.
Okay, so, I'm speaking to the board now. We meet with the residents, that's gonna be a call meeting for us. And then we'll have to have another call meeting, so that he can make his deadline. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Everybody on board with that? Okay. So she's gonna get with the commissioner of that district,
Yeah.
and we'll schedule something. As soon as we know, we'll let everybody know. Mr. Nash, if you can be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe coordinate his schedule with the commissioner's schedule. Okay?
So the meeting then will be at City Auditorium? That's where it, in the minutes, and it's been discussed before to have it.
I guess whatever's good.
It probably have more, I think this only holds 55, so we can get more people there.
Madam Vice Chair, if I can
Yes.
ask a few questions. This one's for the director first. If we approve this application, Mr. Nash keeps saying that we could have our hands in kind of the project here, but I mean, if we approve it, what is the next step? Do we really have our hands in it? I mean, he may be gracious and allow us, but do we actually have any authority over that?
So again, and Mr. Huey can correct me if I'm wrong, but the state has given Landbank broad discretion in how they do their contracts. So it can be detailed in the contract, as stated last meeting, and this, it can be in the covenants.
Yeah.
That there would not be any subsidized housing in perpetuity. So that could alleviate that problem if that's what communicated. Even if the new owner, and even with LIHTC, so the LIHTC is for 25 to 30 years, but they can apply again. So, and if they get awarded again, just like the Waring Street apartments, the elderly apartments on Waring Street, that was a LIHTC program. They have applied a couple of times and got LIHTC funding to make repairs to the structure. That starts the timeline over again. So if they get it, in 25, 30 years, they're going to need, obviously, 25, 30 years, you have to start updating some things, fixing roofs and things like that. So if you get that, then that resets the clock and you've got another 25, 30 years.
Yes, sir.
Stays under this process.
That's exactly correct. And for further insight, typically the cycle is in another, the cycle is 25 to 30 years, but we own it longer. So in that 25 to 30-year cycle, when that comes to an end, we will re-syndicate the credits to improve the property, and then it goes again. So you won't have to worry about some of the fears that you've seen historically.
Okay.
I'll
And then,
make sure I'm still on this earth to see that happen.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna make sure I'm on this earth to see that happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Nash, it sounds to me, it might be wrong, that there's a chance you don't get the LIHTC funding. Is that possible? And then what happens if you don't?
Yes, sir, that's correct. There is a possibility, and in that instance, everything goes back to normal. You guys still have the property, and if you guys want to try or reconfigure anything in the following years, we can, but everything would just return back to as is.
I had two more. The rezone. So what if the rezoning fails? What happens then if we approve the application and then it doesn't get rezoned?
So if you approve the application again, this would it would go for rezoning. If it fails, then, so Mr. Nash wouldn't buy the property until zoning went through and LIHTC was awarded.
Okay.
At that point, then he would get that battery done again. So this would stay in the land bank's possession until both of those happen. If one or the other fails to happen, then it's a wash, and if it's the LIHTC, as Mr. Nash said, then you can apply the next year to get that. If it's the city commission denying, or the neighborhood fighting it and it gets denied, then it's a wash and
Okay.
go that way.
And then last one, the contractors, it says they're to be determined. Are you intending on using local contractors, or do you guys have somebody that you usually use?
We were considering that. We thought it'd be best fit to maybe use someone that you guys value and that knows the area pretty well, accept maybe bids, and we can consult with you throughout the process to make sure this is coming to terms that you see fit.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nash. Thank you, Director.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, I think I need a motion. We're gonna table this until we get input from the residents. Need a motion?
Motion, but my battery's dead, so
Your
it won't,
battery's
yeah, it won't.
dead. So, moved by, Ms. Eunice, do I have a second? Okay. So we'll table this and we'll come back together once you all get together. Okay, Commissioner Ms. Nash, and let us know, but again.
So
you
my
have a card?
understanding is this is tabled,
Yes.
so I can make sure that it's right. It's tabled with the understanding that Ms. Dixon is going to set up a town hall with the commissioner, Mr. Nash, in the neighborhood expeditiously.
Yes.
And then after that, we have to have 10 days to post this meeting and do a called meeting after that
Okay,
to make a decision.
okay, that's good.
That's what
That's what we're
Okay.
gonna do, yes, yes,
just want to make sure we got it right.
okay.
Madam Chairman, for the record, I would ask that you just call for a vote on the table.
Yes, yes, sir. Are those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposes? Okay, great, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Spearman. Okay, now we go to updates on land bank properties. Thank you so much, Mr. Nash.
Thank you all.
We look forward to working with you.
Likewise, thank you.
So on the last sheet of the packet, you will see the land bank properties, our current inventory. So if you go to Public, you'll see about 8 or 9 properties on there. Of that, the current inventory that we have that we could actually sell tomorrow if we chose are the top 4, which is the Bailey Street School that we currently have an application on. We've got parcel WA0308044 on Roosevelt. That is one that we've had talks with adjoining property owners, and they're trying to clear up an issue. So the people that live in the house, one of the moms owns the house, and they're trying to get that put in their name so that they can then come back and get this piece of property to make their yard bigger. We own 1530 Roosevelt Street, which is two properties down. This is a vacant lot. We have spoken with the owner, and they're looking at the house next door. He's looking at putting in an application because he inadvertently put his fence halfway on the property anyway, so he's maintaining it, so he wants to just go ahead and and do that. The 1902-010 Marion Street, there are two other properties that say Hood Street, but I don't know why they're Hood Street on the Q Public, but all three of those are part of this Marion Street project. We've had a couple inquiries about this. We are working through, so the sewer, we've got water on that area, but the sewer does not go past basically from the water tower towards City Boulevard. So we're looking at that, extending that. So, and we do have directly next to the water tower and across the street, we've got two property owners that are wanting to put structures there. So that's part of the process of why we're looking to extend sewer. And then with this, we would go ahead and extend sewer basically from the other side of the water tower down to City Boulevard.
What's the zoning on Marion Street?
So on the south side of Marion Street is R75. On the north side is RM75. So RM75 allows mobile homes, but they have to meet certain requirements. It has to be at least double wide. It has to be set up just like a single family house, so it's got to be a permanent foundation and meet some other requirements. There's not a mobile home pole in the yard. The service has to be attached to the house, so if you ride by, it'll look more like a house. So the requirements are a little tougher. The next section are the foreclosing on. These are the three that we bought at tax sale 13 months ago. That'll be 1330 Mary Street, 1416 Rockefeller, and 911 Jane Street. Mr. Huey has already ran these in the paper, so we should have these probably next month.
Right, the last ad runs today. That will be the fourth notice to the persons connected to the property. And the cutoff date to redeem the property is April the 6th. So nobody
Are
comes
there any
forward.
structures on these properties? Are the houses there?
They're all empty.
Okay.
So the only, out of all the properties that we have, the only one that has a structure on is Bailey Street. So we should have those in stock and we can be able to, and as a matter of fact, the 1416 Rockefeller, I've already gotten a call from that one from an adjoining neighbor that she wants to build a house. She bought the other half of the property, so she's wanting it all. So once we get that, then we can move forward. The 911 Jane Street, and then the last one that's on there that's purchased, that was the one that we just purchased in March of 2025. So the timeline on that one is coming up next month, April 6th, because it's 13 months, right?
Right.
So April 4th, then Mr. Huey will start the process to do the right of redemption on that. So by June-ish, we should have that one. So we'll have all the properties in hand. And the 911 Jane Street, this Jane Street abut, so it would give us a big lot, and that is commercial. That'll be our first commercial property.
911 will be two?
Yes, ma'am.
If you get both?
We have 911 we've already got.
Right.
That's one that we're foreclosing on now. And then the other Jane Street will start proceedings next month,
Okay, it'll be what?
around June.
No, you said business?
It'll be commercial. It's C2 Highway Commercial. It's on the corner of, it's Jane Street, but it's on the corner of Corridor Z, right across from the Coke plant.
I know where it is.
So that'll be a nice commercial lot there.
Okay, any questions? Yes, sir.
I guess this is the best
Tax
time.
Commissioner.
This is the best time to update. I'm gonna have another tax sale. It's gonna be July 7th. So I'm gonna be getting the list up and I will get y'all a copy of the list. If there's any properties that y'all want to bid on, to open a bid or something, y'all give those and y'all decide what y'all wanna do. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
And just keep in mind with that, so we can do an opening bid and if we get it for that, then stuff's
Right.
kind of wiped out. We can continue to bid on those, but once we do that, then we have to pay the full, everything, nothing can get wiped out.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and keep in mind, there's been a couple on here that on previous tax sales. The school taxes are required to be paid by the land bank unless the school gives a waiver for that particular property. So just keep that in mind. And so if there's some that y'all want to bid on, you can get with Mr. Gaines and the school board, and they can look at that. And once they give a letter, then there's no, when y'all bid it in, there will be no payment required.
Okay, good. Mr. Collins, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate that so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So far, they have been gracious in,
I'm afraid to add.
and grant us a letter for all of those that we've gotten at tax sale.
Okay, very good.
So,
Okay, any other questions on that?
No.
Okay, so do we have any new business?
no ma'am,
Okay, great. Any guests? I think all my guests have spoken.
I think so.
Okay, so our next regularly scheduled meeting is Wednesday, April 29th. But as we stated before, we'll be having some call meetings that we'll have to take care of.
And for that, if we do the called meetings and there's not anything that comes in between then and the regular meeting, we don't have to have the regular meeting. The bylaws, as I stated, the bylaws state that you have to have at least 6 meetings per year. The only mandatory meeting is the one in July or August.
August, I think.
August. So that way we're not meeting 3 times in April.
Are all hearts and minds clear?
Madam Vice Chair, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. We adjourn. Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.